Hey everybody, welcome back to Super Buddies Forever. Have you seen our doll, Monster High character, chit chat, study, whatevers? Well, they're gonna happen, or they're happening now. And they're happening in this display board. And I thought, as I'm making this, sometimes I get caught up in what I'm doing and I just make stuff and I don't stop and tape it. And at this point I decided, as of course it's growing and taking longer than I expected, I decided to finally catch up and show you what I'm doing. So of course, Gracie can show you what a display board is. It is, let me move back stuff. It is one of these things that open up. You can probably get them at an office supply store. We got ours at Joann's. And they come in one size, different colors. Ours happens to be blue. I think the white ones are a little cheaper. The blue one was, I think, $6. The white ones were a little less, but they didn't have any. And it is what size? Go check in the back. They're
48 by 36.
48 by 36. And what I did was, as you can see by the top, I just took it, it's much higher than that, and I took it and I cut it in half. So I got half and half, two halves. Two halves. And I didn't actually do it half, but now that the project has proceeded, I realized half would have been fine. Obviously I wanted higher than the dolls.
And Calliope.
And Calliope. And give myself some room to tape. I'm kind of practicing right now. That's looking pretty good for heights. Anyway, I did this side, and I've come up with something addition to it to always use my space good. So I'm going to do that. So how I did this, I used fabric and put fabric around it, which I got at Michael's. Hey, special shout out to Carol from Joann's, who we were chatting at the cutting counter, and she was going to come look at the videos since she cut the fabric. So hello Carol, thank you. This is what this did. So we got this fabric and the grassy looking fabric, and they were both in the intermediate quilting section or premium quilting section. You can use whatever you want. Sky's the limit, which is kind of what this is going off of, a sky's the limit theme, because I like saying that because it's all sky's the limit. That's what it is, and a nice backdrop. So anyway, we put the fabric, I lined the back with fabric like a present, and I lined this is a piece of foam board, just a regular size piece of foam board that was, I think, $3. So we just kind of wrapped the fabric. This is kind of not a tutorial. I'll try my best. It's kind of a look what I did, but I'm gonna do what I can. Anyway, I folded that around just like a present and then attached this on. I'll show you more on the side. And then of course we got the decor, which is great. This was a box that was in the shape of a rectangle, those pieces all together. Gracie painted them really well, and then we broke them apart and fixed it with glue. That was originally going to be Manny Tor's. I was kind of come up with a bed for him, and it got put on the side because it was too small. And that's sitting around from that project. Don't remember how much that cost because I bought that probably a year ago, and that would have been at Michael's. The grass is scrapbooking supplies. This stuff came with 10 for maybe $3. The grass?
Yeah.
No, the grass I just bought the other day at Joann's. The tulips came from Joann's. And you got our cute little writing, Alex plus Wendy. Gracie was here. Hashtag as is. All that's glue gunned on. I did get my trusty industrial glue gun to do this. It's big, it stinks, and it's hot. Not recommended for young people, because if you think you can burn yourself with a crafting mini gun, you have never been burnt by an industrial one. And it does stink. You gotta be careful you don't burn your fabrics. So anyway, decorations can be anything you want. This just happens to be what I did. The star with our channel name, different embellishments for different shines and glinting, and little dabs of puffy paint, of course, because I seem to love that puffy paint just randomly. So pick your fabric, pick your scene.
Do whatever
you can do whatever you want. So let me move on to showing more of how I did it. As I told you, there is your foam board. The short side, you can see how I wrapped it, knowing my measurements. And this was the width it came, which is 12 inches. So I kept that as it was. I needed that depth because we're going to do multiple dolls for display purposes in our videos. And then what I did extra, because I do love my glue, just to be sure after all this work I want it nice, I glued and I glued. Can you see the discoloration? That's the industrial glue gun burning the fabric. It's that hot. But anyway, like welding or whatever, I filled it right up. Right up, extra. I glued and glued and glued and then added extra glue just to be sure so it doesn't fall apart. I put some down the creases just to give it extra support. Getting it on here was probably the hardest part, and that's why I needed my industrial thing. So I did a bead, set it on, held it, got it all. Gracie helped, she helped hold it down, got it all on just enough to hold it, and then I came back and put a whole bunch of hot glue in it to hold it in on the inside. Yeah, I didn't really do an order for this, so it's hard to say. I guess you can say I did this first. I wrapped that all around first, I think. And I did use on the sides, I realized I made a mistake. I used spray adhesive on the sides. I didn't use it on here. And look what happens. So that wasn't stuck to it. Not a big deal if you didn't have this little hole here. But it could have been done better. I'm learning. So here we have the other side. And I don't know, you just see what you can see. So what I have decided I can do is this. Extra. I'm staring at this and I'm thinking, well, I'll cut that off. I'll leave a little bit so it doesn't wobble forward. I'll cut that off. Now, why would I do that? I mean, I already got this permanent, but I can't fold it up anyway. So why don't I make a double-sided display thing? So what I'm going to do is take this one. Can you help me with that, baby? And I'm going to make another side. And that is what I'm going to try to share with you. And I'm sure this is going to be long, as my videos usually are. You guys don't seem to mind. So I can foresee here, obviously that side's going to be shorter. If you want to plan ahead, depending on your needs, you could just do it completely in half. This, I'm obviously going to cut that off and make it fit for that. Be a backdrop for something I might as well, since I got the leftover. And I might paint the background on this one. I'm not sure. I'll decide. So as you can see, oh gosh, look at, you could even technically put that together and make a little something.
I think that's supposed to be there.
Yeah, it'll go in there. So that is kind of neat. Then we have, for details, we have the display for the main Wave 1 character. It's just a regular, I wanted that to blend in the background. For at least, we'll always have one of each character because we have them all. I'm going to put a picture. Let me cue the picture right there. So, after I just tried my best to cover this, I didn't put any glue here where their feet would land. I just glued it on the stand as it was. I glued the stand into the base even better, and just did I did extra around it. Oops. Extra around it just to make it kind of cover and give me that look when it lays on the grass. It kind of blends in. That was why I picked this fabric. And then I glued a little cotton in it just so it wouldn't be so rough over the edge. And then when all was done, this wasn't needed, but I put a pretty little cover on it. And then I reused it, thought that would give it some more dimension up here in viewing. I used a pole or a dowel there, put a little bead on top, a little puffy pink, a little puffy pink. Then I found this for writing on. This is a chalkboard plaque from Joann's. I'm sure you can get it at Michael's. They don't have any of this writing, they just have the dots in it. Here, can you hold them? But I did this here project on a house I had, near a beach on a flat door. I did this same technique where I used chalkboard paint. This was already here, and of course it's just kind of boring. I wanted it today on SBF so I can write. Well, if you look, you can see the shine.
Dude,
I covered it with...
Kitty.
Kitty what are you talking about? Oh, right, Kitty. So it wouldn't make a mess all over, and I would protect this when we're writing and erasing. I did my design, well, that stuff. The dots were already here. I did the little red ones, and then I put nail polish on it. So whenever I'm reusing this for writing, that's not going to have it. So here is our first writing on the chalkboard. Oh, that's a nice one.
All right.
So when we erase this,
That's gonna be a big
it's not going to go on the shiny stuff, which is nice. So it's just a little extra touch. Like I said, I did that on a door, the whole door, and I did a line around it, did a big chef at the top, menu of the day for a very small kitchen for shopping, grocery lists, and reminders and all that stuff. So we're in 11 minutes already, and I have yet to begin working on the other side, but I will. Stay tuned for as much as I can do to help. So I have decided this is going to be done with this sticky tack I had sitting around from a bathroom cupboard thing. So it's plastic, so I can wipe it off, because this is now going to be salon time area, so I can do the doll's hair. You can use some spray adhesive, the same thing I did with the fabric. Got these nice little lines on here so I can line it up easily. Spray adhesive is both permanent and semi-permanent. The quicker you put it on, the more permanent it will be, and the longer you take and let it sit for a minute or two, it's removable. I'm just going to spray that on. It stinks really bad, by the way. And use this and wrap it like a present with the edges around. That's it. Here's where I'm at now. I took that, got that whiteboard, I put a trim on the top and flipped it over the side. All I did was stick a whole bunch of glue in the middle, Elmer's glue, and then just stuck the glue gun into the top to hold it together, a little bit at the bottom, and now I have to glue these into place. And then I will find a way with fabric to do the floor for something that's not slippery. And of course, then we're going to have over here another area to work with if I so choose. There we go. I got all that framework or trim work all in there, which is kind of nice. That stuff was so old. I think my mom got it from some neighbor's great grandma. It was like 29 cents for that from I can't remember the name of the store. Anyway, that was just a funny side. I attached that all in with glue, and then I used this nice trim. That's about one of the few things I have bought for the rest of this to cover up the glue and just to neaten it up. Even if nobody sees it, it just makes me feel better. But if you were using this for something else that you would see it, that's a great example. I have the fabric down here that I left over. It's kind of got velour owls on it. So that'll be nice for things not slipping on it. A little mistake that I forgot about, I didn't test my fabric, the spray adhesive, and it sometimes goes through. It didn't on the other side.
It looks like branches.
But it did on here. The good news is, because I've made this for spray or hairspray and things like that, it's going to get messy anyhow, so it doesn't matter. A nice little extra Mr. Alex did up for me, and we did a little tutorial on it. Alex did some work, is a stand. It's really cool. So that's a regular Monster High stand that is on a board, piece of board, and I just wrapped it. You can check it out. But what that does is give me a very secure area for working on her hair, on any of the doll's hairs for salon time, or just because. So there you have it. That's a beautiful, beautiful display area for filming. Boy, we're moving on up on the road here. So I went ahead of myself. I did not tape a lot of this because sometimes I just get into a project, hashtag as is, and I just got to do it. I can't stop. So you can see, maybe Gracie can help me here. I had this beautiful peacock material around. Everyone knows I love peacocks. And I was going to make a pillow out of it, and I didn't need to, so it was sitting around. So I just took advantage of it.
You use
That-
it for the boys.
Yeah, I did use it for the boys' pillow in the boys' room, so you can see where we are on this. Come down on this side. We have yet another stage or display area for doing things. And what I did differently is down here from the side, of course we only had that much, but I just glued the fabric to the end and made some excess. I did a fold here to bring it together, just to give me a more of a base area. I did nothing special. I just cut it with my pinking shears. Hooray, I finally got a new pair after my first pair, so those 18 broke. I just glued that on top. Every now and then on a dot, I put a little, where can you see it? You can't see it. I hid it very well in this. I just put a little dot of glue here and there just to hold it in place. You can pull on it if you want, all up to your discretion. So now we can take
Kitty Cheshire.
Kitty Cheshire, who's our model today. We could have a regular stand there, which I do not have handy. And if I pull back, she's in a pretty good sized background. Not sure what I'm going to use that one for, but so keep this in mind, because I did do the next fourth side too, but I had fun with it. Did you see my cart video, Mama's cart video in the Get to Know Us section? We've been twirling this thing around and realized it's going to be pretty handy for filming. So looking up here, we came from that side. So now we're doing this part, and I, for the sake of not knowing what I'm going to do with it, but for the sake of showing you a massive idea of what to do with it, I went to town. You just messed up all my things. So hold that up for me. So here we have the fourth area, a for real, no joke stage. What do you think about that? Boy, did I ever have fun with this. This was all extra material. If you notice, this is from Gigi's. I had this left over from a costume.
No, I thought it was my
I forget what we did with this one. This is somebody's rug, Draculaura's rug in her bathroom. This is felt from Jane Doolittle's, which was all remnants. So this is the same thing I did with the other side. I just made it bigger. So if we wanted to pull out and display. These, when you put those on, you just kind of layer. Of course, these were done first. You just take it, I couldn't show you, sorry, I just got into it. You just go like this. You pinch like an inch together, and you glue, and you glue, and you glue. So that's done at the top, and when they fall, they come down here. Now, so they stay nice and neat, I just put a little bit of glue gun on it. Kind of like how I told you about how to make towels. Just put a little glue, pinch it ever so lightly, so it doesn't pinch real hard and hold it together. So basically, whenever we can mess this up, and then just stick our fingers and quickly make it go nice. This one is a different pinching version. I just attached it all on the top, and then I pinched this way. I went, pinched an inch going up, pinched an inch going up, pinched an inch going up. So you kind of get this effect. I did it uneven on purpose, just wanted it to look very casual or whatever, just fun and colorful. And then this stuff here on each corner, we put the ties on first, underneath the pink, thinking ahead of it, and then just of course bunch that up, tie it, glue gun, hot glue, a rose to it. So we have a pretty substantial, awesome looking display, be it we have it up and hold a doll in. Can you drop it? Oh, how easy it is to fix that up. Put it back to its beautiful pleats. We could hold a doll up like that, or if you pull the bottom out, Grace, we have a nice background right there. Yeah, you can see what's under there. That's a good idea.
Or
So that
just
was
hard down here
just attached. No, you wouldn't work down there. You go.
as a cardboard.
Yeah, so you can see that's a good idea to show you how that's all done. All of it's hidden. So back to Miss Kitty. Can you pull that up? Thank you. And there we go. She's on stage. Oh, hello. What did she say?
Byezies.
Byezies, byezies. Hope this gave you tons and tons and tons of ideas. I'll put a brief, quick picture of each of these, just so you can see the scale of how it worked out. Tell me if this helps you and you make something similar. Have a great day, night, whatever. Take care. Super Buddies forever.